Welcome to SIRANTWI Education channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to SIRANTWI Education channel. And at the same time, don't forget to subscribe to Get Simplified channel. All these two channels are being run by SIRANTWI. Um, Today we are going to look at PET Grade 10 2025 Phase 1. What is expected from you? Right, first of all, the PET stand for Practical Assessment Task, which is a research component of CAT, and then it's compulsory for every grade 10 learner to do this PET. Now, this year's topic is all about green computing, our role in a sustainable digital future. Now, this topic is very, very important. You need to understand what green computing is. That is using technology in such a way that you are being sensitive to the environment. In other words, it should not harm the environment or to reduce the impact or the environmental impact of technology. Right. Now, this topic, you have been given 4 or 5 different aspects that the question says you must choose one from. First of all, you have the energy efficient computing, e-waste management, which is electronic waste disposal, eco-friendly design of hardware, green software development, and then lastly, green computing in schools. So these 5, you have to choose one by investigating the real-world examples of the impact, the benefit, and then the challenges of this green computing. Now, these are the aspects you are going to investigate. And the focus question has been also given to you, which is the key area, the key question that all other research questions should be based on. And that is, what are the practical solutions in? Then you slot in your area that you have chosen here. For example, if I chose green computing in schools to reduce the environmental impact of technology. And then you have also been given these videos that will give you more information about these topics. So if you chose energy efficient computing, you can watch these videos. If you chose green computing in schools, you can also watch these videos. And then there are also some resource pack that they will give you, and then you choose. You can also click on this one and then save the information as well, right, based on your topic. Then each aspect here, you have been given questions, and then you are supposed to select 6 of these given questions under the focus area that you have chosen. And then you need to add 2 additional questions to make it 8. So let's say you chose energy efficient computing. You have to choose at least 2 here, 2 under the benefits, and then the 2 under the challenges. Then you add your own 2 as well. Right. So these are all the focus areas. Now let's go straight to an example that I chose so that I'll be able to take you through that. So the first thing you need to do in phase 1 is to create the cover page. Now you save it as a planning document, and then you create a cover page. You can choose any existing cover pages by going to Insert, Cover Page. There are so many existing cover pages that are there. So I chose this one, Integra. You can choose any of them. Then after that, make sure that you have your name and surname. You have the subject, Computer Applications Technology. And then you have the school name. You can type your school name here. And then you type your topic. Then if possible, you must also insert your focus area, or the focus question is still fine. Then this picture here must be changed. You must change it, and then you choose, you can search for a picture on the internet, then you choose that picture. Right, so let me add that picture here. So I right click, and then I click on change picture, this device. So I save that picture. There we go. So that picture is going to be replaced. So you must pick or take or save a picture that depicts, that shows your topic or that corresponds with your topic. Now, after the cover page, the second page, you can leave that one out. We'll come to that. Then the third or the same second page or the third page, you can go to what we call the folder structure. So you type the heading, folder structure. Right, now your folder structure, you must choose maybe heading 1 style. So this is a style. When you go to home, select one of the styles, maybe heading 1 or heading 2. Right, now you design your folder structure in this way by using, you go to insert, and then you can find smart art. There are different smart art that you can use. You can use the list, or you can use hierarchy, like my example. So I chose hierarchy like this one. You can choose different smart art. Let's say hierarchy, this one, and then I can change the color, make it more colorful. I can change the layout also. If I don't like that layout, I can change the layout to choose any other layout. Right. So for me, I chose the first one. Then you type inside, you can also use this side here. So the first one should be your name and surname, the grade 10 PET 2025. That's the main folder. You type it inside the text. And then, so here I type grade 10, PET 2025, with your name and surname. That's the first folder name. So you type that. And then phase 1 and phase 2. That is under that. Then you type phase 1 here, phase 2. And inside phase 1, you see the research folder and then the planning document on. Then you put your topic there. Then phase 2, presentation. Phase 2 is presentation, not website. And then also final planning document. So phase 2, you have the presentation and final planning document. So you have 2 folders inside phase 2 and you have 2 folders inside phase 1. That will be the folder structure. So take note, you can take colorful one as well. Right. So you can delete the entire folder structure. And then after the folder structure, you go to the next heading and then you type focus question. The next heading will be focus question. You can also use, so here I type focus question. You can use the heading style or you can use word art. So focus question, and if I want to use word art, I go to insert, then I see word art. I can choose any word art format. Right, it should be here. I want it to be on top of this one. Right, so you choose the word art, and then you can change it as, let me delete and start all over. So focus question, I can insert the word art and type focus question. Then that focus question there, I can change it. I can change the shape effect. I can also change the transform. If I go to this one, we see the text effect, transform, and then I can choose any of the transformation style. Right. And then below it, then you can draw this shape. How do you do that? Also, you can just put a shape, insert shapes. You can choose any of your favorite shapes. You can choose any shape. And then the shape, you can change the color. And then you type inside your focus question. You right click and choose add text so that you can type your focus question. Remember, as a focus question should be, what are the practical solutions in? Then you slot in your chosen area to reduce the environmental impact of technology. So that should be your focus question. Then after the focus question, you come straight to what we call the task definition. Now, what do you mean by the task definition? You are going to describe what you are going to do, how are you going to do it, and what software are you going to use to assist you, or what are you going to do in each phase. So that's what we call the task definition. So you must follow these headings. First of all, you must start with what is the current situation, or you can say, why am I doing the investigation? Why, you can just type, or why I am doing this investigation. Right. So now you must write it in your own words. Now look at my example here. You must try to link it with what's happening currently with respect to your topic. In today's world, schools and other institutions rely on computers, printers, and other digital tools to support teaching and learning. Here, because I'm doing green computing practices in schools, so I'm referring to the school that these days schools are using different devices and other tools to enhance teaching and learning. And as they use these digital tools, they create or they contribute to environmental problems such as electricity usage. There's high usage of electricity, electronic waste, that is discarding electronic devices that are not being used, and other carbon emissions. Now, so you can even stop there, or you can even write more. Therefore, this one is very, very important. Because of this, I'm doing this investigation to examine practical ways schools can apply green computing principles to reduce negative environmental effect of using technology. So because of this problem, therefore, I am doing this investigation so that I'll be able to get some practical solutions to address these problems caused by electronic waste and other things in schools. Then you are done. Don't write too much. It should be in your own words. Then you go to the next heading. What will be the focus and the purpose of my investigation? In other words, what focus are you going to use? So here you are going to talk about what exactly are you going to do? That's the aspect that you are going to investigate. Now, if you check your PET document, they talk about it. They said you must discuss about the environmental impact of it, the benefits, and then the challenges. So here you are going to discuss, or you're going to write in bullets the aspect that you are going to investigate. So you say, in this investigation, I will focus on how schools can use green computing to reduce their environmental impact. Specifically, my headings or the categories that I'm going to research about are, then you list them. Here I listed 6 of them, but then you are supposed to give at least these 3 headings. That is the environmental impact, the benefits, and then the challenges. So if you are doing green computing in schools, environmental impact of green computing in schools, the benefits of green computing in schools, and the challenges of green computing in schools. You list them here. That will answer the second heading under the task definition called the focus and the purpose of the investigation. Then the last one will be, how will I conduct the investigation based on the PET requirement? How are you going to investigate your pet? So here you are going to talk about the phases. What are you going to do in phase 1? What are you going to do in phase 2? So in phase 1, you'll be doing planning and research. So what will you do there? You list them. That is, you select the relevant topic, in this case, green computing in schools. Then you outline the main headings. Then you type the sources that you are going to use. Then you use those sources to collect information about those questions. And then you summarize them in your own words. And then all the sources will be referenced or acknowledged. Right, so here you are going to talk about what will be done in phase 1. Then phase 2 will be the presentation of findings. That is, you create a PowerPoint presentation to present your research findings. So now, so the presentation will include the following headings. That is the short summaries, the charts, images, and then to explain your topic. So here you are going to talk about what your presentation will be about in terms of the headings. Right. And then links to videos and infographics or educational resources will also be added to support learning. So here you talk about what will be done in phase 2. Then the next heading will be the target audience. Who will need the information when you are done with the research? Now your target audience here, I said teachers, you can say learners, those who are involved in ICT and the school management. So you have to be specific. Learners at your school who will be using these devices. You have to be specific, please. Don't try to generalize by saying everybody. You must be specific about this part. Now, as soon as you are done with the target audience, you are done with the task definition. Then the next heading, research questions, which you must also use the heading style, heading 1. Now you draw this table. The first column will be the number, the second column will be the question, and then the source, where you get that information from. So here, you must group them, categorize them. So in this case, benefit of green computing in schools. Then you pick your questions from the given questions. Then you can also ask your questions by starting with how, why, what, and those kind of leading question. So you need to be specific. So here, how can green computing in schools reduce energy cost and free up budget for their other educational resources? And I said the source will be website. So you do this and then you put them together. Don't forget to pick these questions from your PET guideline, but then the two should be from your own. Otherwise, you lose that mark. Now, when you are done, some of the sources should be maybe interview, books, and other things. So if you are going to conduct interview, you need to draw your interview question, then you go and ask someone. There must be evidence. That means it can record the person and save it as a video, or you can also transcribe or you write them and then you save it. Right. Now, when you are done with these questions, minimum should be 8. So if you have 10, it's enough. Then you draw another table that says summary of answers to your questions. Now, all your questions, you must summarize them. This question, I said I'm going to get it from website. So I have to summarize the answer to this question. All of them. Now, the question that you said you use interview, you draw also another table, interview summary. How can environmental friendly computing practice in school teach students about sustainable and environmental responsibility. So here I interviewed SIRANTWI, and then he gave me this response, so I typed them here. Right, so there were two questions that I interviewed, so I have to type them in a tabular form like this. When you are done, you go to the next one table that says sources of information, where you got your sources from. You draw this table. If it's website like this, at least 3 of them. But it will be very good if you do for all your questions. It will be very, very good, so that you need it for your PowerPoint presentation. So maybe the source one, you type your question, and then you must have one website. What was the website name? The web page name, URL, that's the link. So let's say I am going to search for this information. So you can use Google, or you can use any search engine. You can even use ChatGPT AI to lead you to that place. Now I got this information from Space for Learning. So when you open it, right, remember this is the URL we are talking about. You right click and then you copy the URL. You must paste it in that one. And then this is the name of the page. So you put it there, and then the URL is here. Then the author is Aaron Kumar, and then the date is 4th of January 2011. You put the date here. No, April 1, 2011. You put the date created. So you have to complete all of them. Then the date that I got access to this was July 23rd, the date that you got it. So you have to do all of them. You have to do all of them, this page. Or the minimum should be 3. Now, this page must be saved. You must save this page. When you are saving, you save it as a web page or PDF. You can save it as PDF or web page, so that you can have all these pictures and others. You can save it by using Control S, or you must export it as well. You can use the printing part, Control P, like you are printing it. The printing, so that it can show you the link, hyperlink, and everything. And the name of the website, so that you can print it as PDF. And then you go to save. So don't forget to have your folder that says research in phase 1, and then you save it there as PDF. So all your pages, you must save it, because when I open it, I must see your URL, the date that you got access to them, and all this. You must have them like that with the images and everything. So basically, that's how you get your sources, and then you make sure that all your source of information are also here. You type them like that. Then when you are done with the sources, you go to bibliography. If, let's say, you had other bibliography or anything, references, bibliography. There's no source that I use, so there's no bibliography. And then you do your declaration that's under the appendix, this table, whereby you put your name, surname, and then the date. Then you are done. The second page here will be your table of content. How do you insert the table of content? You go to references, table of content. Because you use the heading style heading 1, your table of content will be generated for you automatically. So basically, this is what you are supposed to do. Thank you for your precious time. Don't forget to subscribe to SIRANTWI Education channel. You get a lot of these documents there as well.